Hi everybody, it is Friday, June 26th. Getting closer to July where I think things are going to start getting kind of exciting. Okay, there's a couple topics I want to bring up today. I haven't done a video in a while, but I've been doing research into, for instance, what's been happening to Earth lately. It's been going through some physical changes. What I mean by that is, as you know, we have our have an axis that the Earth spins on. So we've got, let's say, the North Pole and the South Pole. Well, there's some subtle pole shifts that happen all the time. Scientists are aware of it, but they just, a lot of people, unless you're really into it, you don't look into that stuff at all or hear about it. But throughout the year, there's a slight pole shift. It usually goes off by about 5 miles one way, maybe 5 miles another. This is just normal. Actually, it's to the point where it's so subtle that people wouldn't feel it. There's no way you're going to feel anything. But I guess lately what's been happening is this pole shift has traveled the farthest it's ever traveled before. So instead of like a 5 mile shift back and forth, whatever, I guess it's gone up to like around 20 miles and even going further. There's been some slight reports about that. But the reason why I'm bringing that up is because also there's another thing that they've been noticing is the Earth frequency, which is normally vibrates at, I forget what it was, something like 10 hertz or something. It's upwards into the hundreds now. They've never seen it ever go this high before. So basically, as the geologists or scientists are starting to realize there's something going on physically with Earth, it's going through some sort of change right now. So it isn't drastic enough for us to see any of its results in a lot of ways, and also it's being controlled and sort of helped by outside forces, let's say, to not be too crazy. But because we're connected to Earth, we are part of Earth. Basically, if the frequency, or basically the hertz, whatever hertz it is, that human beings vibrate at, I forget what our signature is. We all vibrate in our own unique way as well. It's almost like a signature of ourselves, but also human beings as just the creature itself vibrate at a certain frequency. Well, they've noticed that we're starting to vibrate at a higher frequency as the same with Earth because we're connected. So just so you guys are aware of what's going on, it was, I forget how many videos ago I talked about this too, but we're going through that shift of, I used it as an example as we're shifting from an AM frequency to an FM. So it's basically a higher frequency. Basically, that's what we're shifting through. Now this is taking years, and it's going to go on for quite a few more years as far as I know too. But we're shifting to a higher, you can even call it a higher dimension, but either way, it's just a higher frequency. And because of that, we're feeling physical effects of it. Like, for instance, some people might hear ringing in the ears, or you might have headaches some days, some not. For me, I've noticed kind of a fatigue. I'm more tired lately. Well, I'm just saying that you got to expect this stuff. This is not going to be talked about in the mainstream media either, but I'm just saying we have to be aware of these effects that are happening to us. So we're all going to go through physical changes slightly as we shift to a higher frequency. So it's no biggie. I just wanted to bring it up. Do some research on it. It's a pretty interesting topic. Then the other topic I want to bring about is basically what's been happening to, well, take for instance in Nevada in particular, this mask issue. I mean, the way I look at it, and like I said, I came here to help break out of this prison. This is a prison planet that we live in, whether we realize it or not. I look at it as almost like a POW camp, or just a basic prison. But what's been happening lately is, I think our warden is catching on. Our controllers are catching on to that we're breaking out. They can't quite figure out who's in charge of whatever. But take, for instance, as an example, we got like a tunnel crew that's been digging tunnels to get out of this prison, and then there's some people that are actually, taking apart the wire fence, and some people are knocking out the hinges and the hinges for the front gate. We're all planning for this prison break, and I'm one of them. I'm came here to help break out of this prison. But basically, what they're doing is they're trying to pit us against each other. So they're going, okay, they're almost like whispering in everybody's ear, and C block say, oh, by the way, hey, you guys in C block, D block called you guys a bunch of idiots. So, I'm just saying. And they're basically trying to get us to fight each other. Because first of all, it's going to accomplish, we're going to be so busy focusing on fighting each other, pissing, getting mad at each other, that we're going to stop the prison, the breaking out of this prison. Will stop us from digging tunnels and things like that. So they're basically stalling us for that. As well as they realize that if we obviously, we're all together on this, and we were all, working closely with each other and concentrating together and getting along, where obviously we'd accomplish more to break out of this prison. So I'm using it, like I said, as an example. But I also kind of noticed that, for instance, our commandant, our prison warden, is basically trying to put his thumb down on and say, listen, you guys all have to remember to wear your blue collars in the morning when you come in for roll call, and you stand there and whatever. And then I noticed that some of you guys are not wearing your collars. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to punish you guys and say, okay, you're going to have less milk in the morning or something as a punishment for not doing what I'm commanding. But what I'm trying to say to you guys is, by giving in, we're complying. Basically, that's what they're trying to find out about us is how much will we comply with their rules? Because the more we comply with it, the more we give in, the more rules we get. And people they're not realizing that the more we fight back, the more freedom we get. So by not complying is actually doing ourselves a favor. Because again, if you want to use that as an example, it's like, okay, I'm going to punish all you guys for not wearing your blue collars at roll call. Well, guess what? If we all refuse to wear our blue collars for roll call, he's going to go, well, either you're going to put us all in prison or take away all of our food and stuff like that. What I'm saying is what he's eventually they're going to come up with is they're going to go, okay, well, scrap that rule, no more blue collars, but you better show up on time. At least show up on time, okay? Otherwise, I'm going to punish you guys again. What I'm saying is it's almost like a battle. The less we comply, the more ground that we gain. The more we give in, we comply to their rules, the less freedoms we get. And that's what they're doing. This is kind of a tug of war. And I, for one, I'm not going to give in. I'm standing by my commitment to this. And especially when it's stupid rules. It's like that classic wear one red shoe, otherwise you can't get into the store or something. It's like, why? It doesn't make any sense. You just realize he's just making these rules up just because he can. Our controllers are taking advantage of us, and they're probably getting a good kick out of it. They're power tripping. Anyway, so I guess really what I'm trying to say is there's a bunch of us out there that are actively trying to break us out of this prison, and by them getting us to fight against each other or tattletale on each other, it's like, it's like, you guys are going to reward, it's like our commandant is saying a speech in the morning, I'm going to reward everybody that churns in, people that are digging tunnels and trying to break out of this prison. I'm going to reward you with all the extra sugar that we're not going to allow the other people to have or something. And a lot of people are falling for it. They're going to tattletale on their bunkmate and block A or something because they want more sugar or something. It's like, you guys, you're just making it more difficult for everybody. And yet from their perspective, they're going, why don't you just give in? Why don't you just say, okay, listen, let's stop the prison break, and then we'll all get all of our sugar back in the morning. And if we all wear our blue collars, he's not gonna, we're gonna get more time on, for doing sports or something like that. He's going to reward us for good behavior. But you guys are missing the point. We're not here to stay in prison and make a happy, happy prison. We're here to break out of prison. So I, for one, I'm not going to comply. And like I said, I would rather starve to death or be thrown in prison. But I'm sticking to my guns, and I'm not going to fall for this. I'm not going to comply to these stupid rules anymore. Well, not anymore. I haven't from day one. I'm done. I'm done. So done with this. I want to stick to the plan of breaking out of this prison, and I'm hoping this will encourage you guys to understand not only my perspective, but I'm trying to encourage you guys to fight against them. Because if you're waiting for someone, because I know a lot of people, that's what's going through their minds. They're going, I can hardly wait for our special commandos. They're going to come in here and tear down the walls and break us out of here. What I'm trying to tell you guys is we are those special commandos. We came in. We're in the inside. This prison break isn't from the outside in. It's from the inside out. And we're not. The cavalry's not coming. We are the cavalry. We're it. We're responsible for our own freedom, and we have to start acting on that. Anyway, okay, enough of that. It sounds like a rant. Have a good weekend. And yes, we're gaining it slowly because people keep giving into our controllers, and don't give into fear anymore, because as you know, that's the same thing. They're basically using that. So stay positive. Stay focused. We're breaking out of here, and we're doing the work. Like I said, we're not going to be good little prisoners and wait for someone to save us. That's not what this is about. It's a test for us to show that we can do it, and we can do it. Anyway, I'm sorry, went on again. Have a good weekend. I'll make some more videos if I get inspired. So, all right, bye for now.